Welcome back, everyone. I'm going to try to do this in one take. Today we're going to be talking about my 2005 Chevrolet Silverado. For those who don't know, this thing has 254,000 miles on it. I swapped a 6-liter LQ9 in it a couple of years ago now, and I want to go over it. So the first thing is we're going to pop the hood here and talk a little bit about it. I already did that in preparation for this video. Anyway, we're going to head over here. We're going to pop the hood, and we're going to stare upon the beauty that is the 6-liter LQ9. And by beauty, I mean salt-covered, rusty pulleys, and it looks identical to a 5.3. So for those who don't know, the block is essentially the same. It's actually slightly different, but outside's the same. So it looks like a 5.3. There's actually nothing to see under here, but we'll kind of go over the mods and stuff. Gibson ceramic coated headers, short tubes on there, just a K&N intake on here. This is like a Spectre intake arm that I was given by a friend. Some redneck stuff. Optima battery, just because I've always wanted to try them. I've actually never had one. It's been in there for 30,000 miles, 32,000 miles. I also never replaced my firewall blanket, so that's kind of a, maybe a mistake there. But everything's been running really good with it so far. Really enjoyed it. Hadn't had any issues. Oh, we did a Black Bear performance tune on here. It's a 91 octane tune. And if we'll close this for now, I guess. Oh, you know what? Hiding behind that guard is a True Cool 40K trans cooler. I actually cover it for the winter because the trans won't come up in temperature quickly. Guys, it's kind of the tail end of winter here. We're starting to come into spring, but she's covered in salt. She's crown undercoated, so it's in really good shape for a northeastern truck. I'm in upstate New York, for those who don't know. So we're gonna look under here. We got a Flowmaster Super 10 with dual exit exhaust out the back, the way God intended it. So I'm just gonna pop this here quick. I got a bunch of crap back here. Got to get this guy filled, but I actually added hooks here for the rear tire of my motorcycle, and I would kind of put it in at an angle to the front of the bed, so I'd haul my motorcycle back here a lot with my camper that I used to tow with this. So before when this was my daily, its use case was towing my 6,000 pound camper, hauling my 600 pound motorcycle, and for those who are in the know, especially an older half ton, only has, in this case, 1,200 pounds of payload, which is very sad. But as a result, this truck really wasn't cutting it for that usage. I was beating her up a little bit, especially these older half tons have very light duty rear ends. They're perfectly fine if you're just kind of bumming around empty. But if you're going to start driving around loaded with a ton of cargo and or a trailer, things can get a little sketchy. Anyway, we put these RST wheels on here, and I really like these. These are off a 2019 Up Silverado. I think this is one of my favorite mods I've done to this thing. They're covered in crown right now, so they're ugly as all get out, but it makes the truck look super modern in comparison. These reflectors right here are normally orange. I got headlights that have the clear ones. I just think it looks super sharp. Some things that don't matter too much. For a 254,000 mile truck, go on this side here. The interior is held up, in my opinion, incredibly well. It is filthy. Again, we've had a really harsh winter here this year. So, I mean, crap happens. I'll clean all that out in spring like I always do. It'll look brand new. But, door panels have held up well, all things considered. This guy broke and I fixed it, but funny how that color changed over time. But anyway, just dirty, but this will all clean up. I got all grease prints on here, guys. I've been working this thing this winter, daily duty. Now that it's not towing anymore, I'm just bumming back and forth to work with it, hauling my dog in here. I got freaking junk, my coat there for going to the shop and doing work on stuff. If we go around to this side, I need to organize this terribly, but look at all this, guys. I got just random. Actually, it doesn't look so bad on camera, but there's just junk in these. I need to get a better tool set up in here and whatever. But again, this is my backup truck now, so This used to be the daily. I bought this F-250 to replace it, and I've really been liking this truck, but that's not what this video is about. I just want to kind of give you some context. But anyway, there's a whole playlist on doing the motor swap. There's a ton of videos on the channel just about the truck in general. If you have more interest in this thing, I'd really encourage you to go watch those. I'm going to hop inside real quick, and I'm going to tell you a couple little stories. And for those who are GMT 800 fans, just the old school classic dash, complete with the worn out buttons. None of these lights really work properly. Got the Pioneer radio from when I was 16 in there. The things you expect a truck like this to have. Console waters, nothing too much to see there. Just a good functional interior. So anyway, a little bit more stories about the truck. So we're just going to tell a brief one here. And there's a little bit of stuff on the channel as well. But a couple of years ago now, after I did the 6.0 swap, it actually caught on fire on the side of I-81 in Pennsylvania while towing the trailer. There's a YouTube short on this, which I can link in here. But unfortunately, a transmission line blew off the side of the trans. Brand new fitting, by the way. We think it was defective, the mechanic and I who fixed it. But I got towed to a shop in PA called Robinson's Automotive or something like that. Awesome guys. I still feel in debt to them years later. But worked on it right away. He let me work on it with him. We got myself back on the road, which was awesome. So that was kind of a crazy experience, but really helped solidify why I turned this from a tow rig into my just kind of bumming around town daily, which it's much more suited to, just being a half ton and with what I was doing for it and just the age and mileage and all that stuff. So the other big thing that I did in this truck, which is awesome, is I went across country in it. So this truck has been to like 33 states. So you can imagine that in this passenger seat here, my friend and I sat in the driver's seat here, driving around from upstate New York to Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, all the states in between, Nebraska and Illinois and Ohio. And I did another road trip with a friend through Tennessee and North Carolina, towing the camper. I'd go down to North Carolina where my family lives a lot. So this thing's been all over the friggin' U.S., which is really, really cool. So other than that, I think that kind of covers everything I wanted to say. Like I said earlier, please check out the playlist of the engine swap. A little bit long-winded on some of those videos, but there's a lot of cool information in there. We kind of go over how hard the engine swap was, or really how kind of easy it was. For those wondering, a little synopsis of it. You basically, if you want to go 5.3 to 6.0 LQ9, everything's just direct bolt on and bolt right into the truck. You can reuse all your front end components, alternator, water pump, power steering pump, all your brake stuff, obviously. It doesn't even connect to the motor, but radiator's totally fine for the 6.0. It's not remotely going to overheat. You can reuse your transmission, obviously. Torque converter is fine. Exhaust is also fine. Technically, it's probably a little bit, small diameter for a 6.0, but it'll be fine. It really isn't going to affect it too much. You could probably get a couple more horsepower on the very top end with a bigger exhaust. But yeah, everything just bolts right in. It's super simple. It's all the electrical connectors the same. The sensors are all the same. There's really not any differences. The injector rail, because this was a oh my god, E85 truck, flex fuel truck. So this injector rail looks different, but it all bolts into bolts in the manifold, intake manifold, of course, but that all works with a 6.0. Black Bear is able to tune it, no problem. And if you have your tuner can tune it without any issues. So that shouldn't be a problem. Very simple swap in the big scheme of things. If you are looking to do something like that, again, watch my videos. I think you'll find it interesting. And it was well worth it. The power's good. The fuel economy is kind of the same as a 5.3. It's a little worse, but more or less the same. So it's not like you're really going to notice any huge disadvantages with that. Anyways, guys, I think that'll wrap this one up. So, as always, thanks for watching. God bless America, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.